Hey, everyone. This is J&A from the Let's Get Loud podcast. Boo, 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 boo. Hi.
Hi.
Oh my goodness. I feel like I absolutely love this part of our job.
It's funny. It's the part of our job that we just do for nothing.
Exactly. Brings no income. Maybe maybe we shouldn't call it a job, just like a part of my life, part of a hobby.
Oh my gosh. I had to do this class project for the girls, and it was like, what does your mom do? Like, or what does someone, and oh, wow.
It's a lot. Okay, so oh my God. So landing in Bangor and the customs officer.
Oh,
What do you do, miss? What
oh,
do you want me to fucking say? So, anyways, I'm like, okay, I am tired of feeling that way. I'm tired
yeah.
of like not knowing. And I was like, I almost said like Jeff, I'm like, if I say like I'm in the all like basically social media entertainment, like because there's entertainment there. There
And
is like
then,
our show.
especially with that, if you're wearing that shirt, he thinks you're a stripper for sure.
Exactly. He's like, ooh, what is the in this chain?
Entertainment. And those
Right.
lips.
I didn't. Okay. And I'm flying with my pimp.
Mm-hmm.
Frig. Anyways, it's not that we don't know what we do. It's like, we hate labels so much that it's like, I show up, I help people lose weight, but not in the way you think I do. So there you go. Like, that's it. Like, I help people lose weight. That's what I do. I help people lose weight, but not in the way you think I do.
That's the part is like, we help people lose weight, but it's like, as soon as you say that, people are like, oh, gross, or they just like think that you're something that you're not, and you want to be like, yeah, but check my
Yeah,
Instagram.
but I'm awesome and funny, and I'm rebelling against the diet industry over here.
Yeah.
Anyways, she just, and it was a woman, so I was like more like into telling her a little bit more of what I did, but I just like definitely like cut it short. And I was like, I own a business and I help women lose weight.
I
That's what I
think
told her.
I'm a business owner is probably for
Yes.
customs. For customs, business owner, check, check, check. Someone else like in a social situation, maybe.
I
But
hate new social situations. And they ask me what I do. I don't even. And then it's like I meet people and then I'm like, obviously so proud of how I show up on social media, but like you show up on my social media, you're gonna see my ass. You know what I
yeah.
mean? And yeah.
Mm.
And it's like, I'm like, like I went to this birthday party and there's all like husbands there. And I was like, oh, hopefully they don't follow me. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so random to me. And then I'm like, but most of the like sometimes I worry that like because that's the body image part, right? You have to like it's not about other people. And also there's nothing wrong with my ass and my cellulite, but you're so it's still insecurities that you're like you just want them to see the good stuff. Like fuck, it's something to work on for life, though. You
It's
know,
hard.
it's hard.
It's hard.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I mean, you guys, we're just crushing life over here. It's May, which is a massive month for us. We have the tour for our summer program launch. And I think that it's like our biggest launch yet. Like we're really excited. Like we're really going for it because we truly feel like our service, our program adds so much value to people's lives all year round. But in the summer, you can definitely like because we almost want to be like that program because most programs and diets are like, pretty quiet in the summer. You know
And
what
they're
I
like,
mean? Because
bye.
yeah, exactly.
You're on your
And I'm like,
own.
exactly, you're on your own, right? And I just feel like our service can really help people in the summer realize, first of all, you can lose weight in the summer. You can enjoy your summer. You can really do it your way. Actually, one person sent me a message like, friggin' love your slogan, Ton été ta way. She's like, that is so catchy. Like she's from up north. She's like, can't we go see you in Grand Falls? She's like, I really like Tone Te Tawe. I like that. And I feel like the people need to realize that no matter what, it doesn't matter if it's summer or whatever, but it always should be your way, you know? But in the summer, you're definitely on your own, no,
And
on your own
everyone
with your
like,
mind.
and everyone has a different reality in the summer. Like our summer is like is different than probably most, unless you're like a teacher and married to a teacher. Like,
You're right.
we have a lot of flexibility in the summer. A lot of people only have like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So everyone has a different reality. Okay. I want to clear some stuff up. So the summer membership, you guys, can be done from anywhere. We are touring to get people all set up with our virtual 4-month summer program. Like
Yeah.
you do not need to live at these locations in order to join the program. So everyone that joins during this tour is also doing the virtual version of the program. It's just that we are in New Brunswick, and who knows, guys, we could start touring the world.
Yeah, of course. It's
But
a
we're
part
starting
of
with
our
New Brunswick.
campaign. It's a part of our campaign
Yeah.
for our summer tour, like our summer program. It's a part of
Yeah.
like how we're marketing it. We're going around the province. It just makes sense.
It just
Someone
makes sense.
sent a message about PI. They're like, is PI going to be a part of it? I'm like, yes, girl. Like, I'm really hoping September for our I always like struggle with fall and spring, and fall and spring. I struggle with it en anglais and en français.
Okay.
I have to like say both, and then once I have both in my brain, I'm like, it's like porch and Porsche. I need to like say
Wow.
both, and then I know which one is which.
Okay.
There's something about it. I can't tell you why.
Okay.
But anyways, our fall program, obviously we're going to do a big fall launch, and fall is obviously even more of a time where people are sick and tired of feeling sick and tired and their jeans are tight. So we know that, right? We ourselves, it's very much, that's when our program definitely like shines the most, you know, because people do want to lose weight. Anyways, I'm hoping that we can add like one PI, maybe one Nova Scotia, maybe like Truro. Don't you love it when I say it?
I really do. Yeah. So we're hoping that it goes well. And if people show up, we will come back and see you guys in 4 months with the September fall tour. We'll add some cities onto the tour. We are happy to come see you guys. We really, I think you and I, one of our strengths is actually just talking. And, you know, I mean, and
maybe that's why we like this part of us just talking, because I'm just talking to you.
But, you know, we can, a conversation with someone is just so impactful and so powerful. So we're giving you guys an opportunity to come and have a conversation with us and show up. Even if you're not sure, we'll have a chat. We're going to do like a session after that's, let's get you started, your pep talk that you all need before you embark on any kind of journey. And I'm just super excited to see everyone.
Same. And if you're not from New Brunswick, no big deal though. Summer program is for you as well. They have the exact same service. You know what I mean? It's just that initial like, hi, you get to meet us. I mean, move to New Brunswick. Come see us.
Or don't.
And we come to you. Please stay warm.
Had a conversation with someone. She was American. I don't know why we were having a conversation about taxes, but she told me how much she paid in taxes or something. And it was like 3%. And I was like, oh, you don't want to know. You don't want to know.
I know.
Okay, wait. I want to say one more thing before we move on. Our locations, you guys. So our locations, José's location has been open for 12 years. At Club de l'Age. Club d'Age d'Or. And mine is like the rec center in Riverview, and mine going on 6 years for me. The yellow walls, and you know, pre-COVID times, we would stuff hundreds. So many people would come to our meetings that we had to have 2 meetings. Yeah. So we've been there as we missed that. Every day that the world told us we could be. We went through the whole thing. We were there when we had to sit 6 feet apart, when we had to have masks, when we couldn't drink, like when we had like, you know, we were disinfecting everyone. We always showed up when we could. Yes. It's kind of funny when you think about it.
We've been there. We've only, out of like the whole pandemic, we were closed for 9 weeks. That's it.
We tracked every person that came in case there was a case, and we'd have to contact everyone. Oh my goodness. Anyways, my story is to tell you guys that we are still there.
In one door, out the other door. So that you're not. Do you remember?
Right. And I only have one hallway, so I had to get people to like.
Yeah. And when I knew that the issue with the scale was arising is when people wanted to take off their mask to get on the scale so that they weighed less. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is a problem. That's when we need to stop having scales, because clearly they need a better relationship with the scale here.
Wow.
Yes.
So my whole point, guys, is we want to bring back the locations. Like we want more of you to come and see us. We're actually going to be May 27th. We will be at our respective locations, open
as
house.
Always.
Yeah. As always, come see us. If you're if you're not sure, just come see us, sit, feel the vibe, do your thing. But we're still there drinking our coffee, having amazing, incredible, powerful conversations, and like
Yeah.
creating such a community.
So why it's different on May 27th is because we are going to host like an information get started session of our program. So, you know, usually we show up, we do our meeting of the week and then bye, like have a great week. But then obviously we want to create like that, like this is it, like on May 27th, we're actually gonna spend an hour talking to you about like where to start, how to join the Facebook group, where's the website, like just making sure that you're all signed up and all ready to go. And so, yeah, so that's what we'll do, on May 27th. So if you're from around and you're like, man, like me and my girlfriends could definitely use like a getaway almost like every Saturday morning, just like go listen to the girls, bring your coffee, bring your muffin, whatever. And it's just like it really helps you to stay connected. And it's a part of our service that we've given for over 12 years. And it's fun. I love it.
It is fun. But I mean, if you are thinking of coming, don't wait until May 27th. Like come see us. Come see us.
Yes.
Come see us. We're there. You're more than welcome to come and just sit on a meeting
Anytime.
anytime.
All right.
I feel like I thought of one more thing. So sorry.
Okay.
May 27th, our locations.
Maybe it'll come.
So sad.
Well, I mean, you said everything that I can think of, and I think you've covered a lot of things. We've covered a lot. Yeah.
There was something. You just
Okay.
start talking about things.
Okay.
Hey, we haven't done a podcast since you went on your trip.
I know. Hello, everyone. You know what? Yeah, it's wow. Okay, so what happened if you weren't following? Oh, you found it. Go.
We wanted to tell you guys that we do not have a scale at our location anymore.
Oh, okay.
Now, this is like a bigger conversation, but just so that people, if they're returning members, should know that we do not weigh people anymore. Short story long. Do you want to do another podcast?
Yes, I want to do a podcast getting louder about no scales in front of someone else. Like, okay.
Love it.
About getting weighed. Okay, we'll do that. We'll do a full podcast on our reason why. And just because I think we got louder about that by taking our scales away at our locations. Okay. Back to my little adventure. Okay, you guys. So if you weren't following or you didn't know, so Jeff and I went on this like obviously bucket list adventure together where we flew in a tiny plane from Moncton, New Brunswick to Turks and Caicos. And it was 12 hours of flying to get there, and total of 40 hours, like between like when we did between islands and like stopping, you know what I mean? Like that's like what Jeff, when he added it all up, there was a total of 40 hours of flying. Anyways, you guys, yeah, that's a lot of hours. Anyways, you guys, it was just, it was almost, no, not as much. The pandemic really like changed me. But this trip, there's just like a lot that I'm trying to connect to and hold on to in terms of like how much impact it has on like, not how I live my life, but my perception and just like life en general, It just, every time I like leave and like, first of all, just getting in that tiny plane, it made me think of that one time where we had a flight from Halifax, Moncton, coming back from a trip, like let's say 15 years ago. And I like could not breathe, like anxiety attack, like could not believe I was getting into this tiny plane. And that like, basically like the co-pilot was also the stewardess giving me a pretzels. And I was like, I could not handle it. And now I'm like flying across the country to go on water and fly with my husband as the pilot in a tiny, tiny plane. Anyways, I just feel like you can do hard things, and you can do things that you never thought that you could do, like never thought, It's just like a lot sometimes. And you have to grab onto those moments of like, shit, I said out loud that I would never do that. And I used to be so afraid of flying. And I used to think this way. Is what I think progression is. And when you evolve as a human and as a, like in your own world, you change how you think. That's not how you change how you look, you change how you think.
And that's what's so incredible about personal development is you're changing the way that you think, and then you change the way you act. And it doesn't happen. There's no switch. There's no one moment. There's not on March 1st. There's no physical transformation photo.
Yeah.
It's just, you have this moment. I was having a conversation with the members this week about something. And I was like, I had a realization that I no longer had those thoughts that I had
Mm.
for years, but I can't remember the
Years.
last time I stopped having the thoughts. It was like
Yeah.
all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh, I used to think that way.
Well, there's that video with Simon, he's like a big shot, no? In the like
Simon.
mindset world. Simon, I'm gonna find him. He's probably gonna be the first one that shows up if I say Simon. Wait, I'm gonna find him. Anyways, he says like, can you point out the minute you fell in love with your wife? And
Yes.
you know, and it was
Yes.
like, it's not like this one time, now
Yeah.
I'm in love. It's like like all of a sudden you're here and you're like, oh, I fell in love. I'm in love, you know? So it was
Yeah.
just like I feel like that works with what you were saying. It's like, you don't have that one, like, oh, now I don't think that way anymore. It's like un petit peu à la fois. And then all of a sudden you're like completely converted, you know, like you no longer think that way. But honestly, you need to, oh, you know who comes up with Simon when I write Simon? Simon from American Idol.
You
That's
just
what
in
comes
Google
up.
wrote Simon and
Simon.
felt that he was going to
That
come
was
up.
enough. That was enough.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. Simon mindset. Wait, I'm going to write Simon mindset and see what comes
Okay.
up. Simon Sinek, Sinek. He's like a big shot in the like TED Talk, YouTube world. And he obviously came up with like a 5 steps to something, and then is famous for life for his 5 steps.
But did he create the 20-minute mindset method, the 20 and 20?
He did not, Alicia. One day they'll be like Alicia, and then they'll just Google Alicia, and Alicia Keys is gonna come up. And then you'll be like Alicia mindset, and then 20 and 20 is gonna come up.
You got it. That's the story. That's what's gonna happen.
Okay, so while we were on our adventure, we met this couple, a more mature couple, I'd say like in their 50s. And we're on a tiny island that to get there, like Air Canada doesn't land there. So it's either like you're there by boat or you're there with like a tiny plane, right? So most people though are there by boat. You know, beaucoup de bateaux. There's a lot of boats all around the Bahamas. It's like they're all like doing that adventure of like living on a boat or going around island to island. You know? Like there's not just one person doing that. Just like there's not just one person with a small plane going around the islands. But boats are like a thing. Anyways, and I actually know a couple from Shediac that lives 4 or 5 months on a boat in the Bahamas. And I follow their journey. They definitely don't have children. But anyway, so yeah, so we're talking to them. So they're assuming that we're also there by boat, right? So we're just listening to their story. They're like, oh, we're from the US, and they told us where, but I forget. And they said they sold their home and now they've been living on their boats for 4 years. And he's like, it's a 44-foot pontoon, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh my God. And then I looked at him, and when we were landing, I saw this man standing in his boat watching us land in his shorts. And I was like, he's wearing the gray shorts, and this is the hair that I saw. So like I watched him watch us, because it's pretty cool. Like when you see a small plane like land, he was right there where the airstrip was. Anyways, and so I'm like, oh my God, you're the guy that I saw. We're the plane that landed. He's like, oh my God, you guys are driving the Cessna, whatever. So he knew about planes. His wife was actually, I think, had her pilot license. And he's like, oh, way back, we used to rent a small plane and we would go on adventures and blah, 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 blah. So he's telling us that he just sold his home, been living on this beautiful boat for 4 years. And then he's like, oh, I'm so jealous. And when he said that, it just made me laugh. You're jealous of me that I'm on this 1 week adventure, and you've been doing this for four years, which is literally my dream. Like my dream is to like live in the sun and just like do what you do. And then it made me realize how the conversation that I want to have with you, Leash, is no matter what you have, there's always something you don't have. So it doesn't mean that what you don't have is better or less or whatever, just there is always something that you do not have. And I'm like, as much as he has that, he doesn't have a plane, a pilot, like obviously she doesn't have her license anymore. Like he doesn't have access to what I have access to. And so I was saying that to Jeff. He's like, oh, it's just a way of saying things. I'm like, still he said that. Like that's how he felt in that moment, you know? And I'm like, and then it got me thinking about just weight loss, how we're so focused on the things we don't have access to. And that's not, obviously he probably loves his life and whatever, but like, it's just the thought of that there's always something you don't have access to. And if you keep only focusing on that, you're not grateful for what you do have access to. And it's not productive. You know what I mean?
No, it's not productive. And imagine this man living on a boat in the Bahamas. It's jealous of anything.
Of anything. There, according to me, tu l'as fait, là. Like,
Yeah.
done.
Maximum
Check. Maximum happiness, maximum like accomplishments, you know? But it's like, no,
Absolutely.
there's something else that he doesn't have.
And
50
bringing
in,
that concept, bringing that concept back to Riverview, New Brunswick, or Shediac, New Brunswick, on a very smaller, more average everyday scale.
yes.
We look around often, and obviously we live our lives on the internet, and so with that comes comparison.
Yeah.
And so often, you know, we hear things like, well, easy for you to be active because you have flexibility with your work. You know, so people are, I'm jealous you can go for a walk during the day, or I'm jealous you have your mom that helps with the kids, or, you know, all of these things. Like, it's just, again, I could sit and feel sorry for myself that we don't have any help around. Or I can accept that that's my resources and that's my reality. And I just make the most of what I do have, and the gratitude piece. It's like two pieces. Like, it's so important. You're grateful for what you do have, but it's also important that you leverage the resources you do have to make the most of them.
Absolutely. And I think that when we're so hyper focused on what we don't have, we actually take away from seeing and recognizing what we do have, because we're so like, our energy and our focus is just on like what we don't have. And it's like, again, it's taking away from, it's like always thinking about what you did not accomplish at the end of the day, but then what you did accomplish is what you prioritize. So like, let's put the focus on what you did accomplish. It's like when people are like, I didn't lose weight this week and I didn't even eat the pizza. And I'm like, it's not about what you did not eat, you know? So I think results come from what you do, like results, progress, success. It does come from what you do, what you do have access to. And then, but you only do what you have access to. And I think that if you don't recognize what you have access to, then what you do is going to be different than if you did recognize that it's there. Yeah.
No, it's, I really think that mindset piece is something that holds many people back from success. I feel like more people are like that, focusing on what they don't have, than the other way. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I see people and I see the way they talk sometimes, and I see the way they show up, and I see them not accomplishing what they want. And I'm like, it's that thought that's holding you back.
I see. I completely agree. And I think that, I mean, obviously, il y a des scénarios pour tout là. But it is important to say, to realize that the way you think impacts so highly your choices and your like behaviors. So if you are always thinking about the shit that you don't have access to and whatever, and you're not spending time, like, it's like, c'est pas productif en faisant un choix différent. I do believe that what you see your resources being and whatever obviously impacts like what you do. Like, c'est comme, tu vois, je veux dire, these are the resources. If you don't see them, you're not going to behave the same way as someone sees something different. And we're going to talk about perception in a couple of podcasts, because that's also something else that happened while I was on vacation, that I do want to talk about how perception is. I've always said perception is everything, but I kind of have like a different approach or a different way of seeing it now. But anyways, I do feel like our message is clear today that no matter what you have, there's something that you don't have. Comme tout le monde, là. Tout le monde. Tout le monde. And so living in that space, like staying in that space, is actually affecting your choices. And also it's not like, and also please see, another message that was good today, you guys, is the accumulation of choices and how it gets you to a certain place.
Absolutely.
So I do believe that, like, sometimes, like, well, even if I make this one choice, I'm not going to be like you. True. Even if I make one little change, I'm not going to like sell my house today and move to you know what I mean? But if I have resources, maybe in 20 years, maybe in 30 years, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, you don't recognize that it's an accumulation. Where a person is today is an accumulation of many choices.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like years, guys.
Years of choices.
Of choices. Habits. Like when you see people that have things or a life or a energy that you admire,
I like
they
that.
have worked for that. It
Yeah.
did not just happen.
It's a mix of like priorities and choices. And in order for you to prioritize certain things and make certain choices, you have to see what you have access to.
And
You
and we
know?
all, and we're not saying we all start on the same playing field, because we don't, because we all
Yeah.
do arrive into life, literally life.
Yes.
We arrive
Life.
into life out of your mother's vagina with different
Yes.
resources, different
Resources.
environments, whatever. But again, it's like what you make of it, right?
Yes.
It's so we're not saying
Absolutely.
everyone's the same and everyone can do this, but what we are saying is
Oh.
everyone can focus on what they do have
Yeah. And then go from there.
and
It's just
work
yeah.
at making it better or accomplishing that thing they've always wanted to accomplish.
Yeah, that was great. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for listening. Do not be jealous, be inspired. Do not be intimidated, be inspired. I always say that.
Yes.
People are like, I'm so intimidated to go to your spin class. I'm like, don't be intimidated, be inspired. I've been doing this for 15 years. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like I started this way. So it's really important to just be inspired by others.
I love that. I love that.
Okay. All right. All right. So have a great day, you guys. And you know that our summer program is out and it is time for you to join. Okay, bye. Peace.
Bye.